looks great in here. Oh, this is gonna be dope.
Make it papa, believe you in bed, but call your mama, just so she know you ain't dead, and I can read.
Explaining the nervous is probably one of the hardest things I always have to do. The nervous is a blues experiment. It's really an experiment of bringing the blues back to its essential roots. Kind of this porch, kind of holler field song, that sort of situation. But then at the same time, trying to bring other elements to it and seeing how everything else, other music, is the blues as well.
It was one year where I was listening, I worked from home, and so I was listening to a lot of music, and I boiled down everything I loved about rock music to the blues, I realized. And so I got back down to the Delta blues, and I realized what the blues does is that, like, you know, there's a good blues line. We have one song that starts with, I'm gonna make you hate yourself in the morning. And that's a good, like, strong start to a song, you know what I mean?
I'm gonna make you hate yourself in the morning. I'm gonna make you sweat.
But I wanted to start a band, I don't know. So I talked to Cherie, who I knew from an acting class. I'd never even heard her sing, but I just liked her sort of attitude towards stuff. And I literally approached her and I was like, you want to do like a filthy blues band with black people, like how it used to be? And she was like, yeah, so that's how the Nervous started.
I'll make it close to yourself, darling. What's my name, too? Ooh, I hate yourself, child. 'Cause I made a run out of you. You can hate me all you want, just as long as you say please.
Well, I'll tell you, doing you know, a two-piece blues band in shitty dive bars really, I think was the best thing I ever did for performance, because I realized at that moment that all the other like stage and theater performance and even TV and film performance, they're all safe places. Like everyone there is trained to how to behave. When you're doing like your own original music and you're playing really loud in a bar where they don't even want you there, you learn to like what it is to actually perform. You learn what it is when people stop talking because you're doing something interesting. You learn what it is to actually capture and hold someone's attention. And so like doing that changed the way I look at theater performance also, because I feel like the actor will tend to try to hide behind this facade of a character, which I think is boring. And I see musicians do the same thing where they're trying to hide behind their instrument. It's like, no, like we want you know? I want to see you have to say. And even if your lines are written by some other writer, like I would rather see people interacting on stage as opposed to people hiding behind this character. So, and so with the Nervous, Cherie and I definitely try to give as much energy as possible. Like I'd like to be tired by the time I'm done, because I'd like to give the energy, you know, that much energy to the audience.
When people hear you do music and you're in a blues band, okay, and there's two black people in a blues band, okay, then there's an idea about what that is. Immediately, just because of where we are in 2015 and what music and black music has become, there's an idea that, you know, there's gonna be some girl on stage who's gonna do some sort of facsimile of Etta James, and it's gonna maybe sound like, you know, Big Mama Thornton, and you know what I mean? Like she's probably gonna do, you know, some version of Strange Fruit, and it's gonna be, there's so many expectations of what the blues sounds like, and it's always a throwback, you know? And it should be a throwback in many ways, but you know, for me, Nina Simone is the blues. Nina Simone is fairly recent in comparison to, you know, the stuff that's way, way back, Bessie Smith and all that sort of stuff. So that's why, you know, for me, I love covering Nina in the, in the show, because it's like, that song, that's right in the canon of, you know, be my husband, man, now, B-O-Y. That's the original, that's how she recorded it. And it was like, there's nothing going on in that song except for her voice. And it's like, that's the blues, you know? It's everywhere.
If you promise me you will be my man. I will love you now the best I can.
Yeah.
Oh, daddy, now love me good. Oh, daddy, love me good. Oh, baby, love me good. Oh, daddy, love me good.
I'll tell you the truth. I never imagined that it would be something that other people would gravitate towards and feel so much. And it's so interesting to me to see how people kind of connect to it in a very visceral way. And in many ways, that's pretty cool because that's the experiment, you know, to see how in touch we could get with the blues. And in that way, we become extremely accessible to a lot of people, which is so strange, but it's really cool. I think the dream is to keep pushing ourselves. I think that's not really, I don't know if that's a dream though. I think that's just something that we do. You know, we just keep trying to figure out, all right, what's next? What do we do next, you know? How do we keep it interesting? Keep it interesting, that's the dream, you know?
There's not really a dream for the band. We haven't even recorded an album. I think the most ambitious thing we've wanted may happen tonight where I just want like 100 sweaty people crowded into a space. We really enjoy the live aspect of it. And I think because the way our band is it's got this sort of unique setup, we haven't really found, we've had people try to record it, but no one's quite captured it yet. But I also realize it's not really what's important. We're not looking for a fucking record deal or anything like that. This is just one of my favorite forms of performance. It's honest, it's 100% me. It's words that I wrote and like things that I felt at a certain point in time. I trust Cherie like my sister, and like the two of us, I don't know. I just want to do a fucking awesome rock show in New York City, man. Like I just want to, you know what I mean? Like how rock and roll used to be before everyone got all pussy about it.
The song's about my dead sister.